Knives Out is a series I have a soft spot for. Maybe it's because there aren't many high-profile mystery movies, but I always enjoy going to see them when they come out. I consider them live-action cartoons with a darker edge. Imagine Scooby-Doo with real murders instead of ghosts.
Scooby-Doo.
Wake Up Dead Man follows in these footsteps, and personally, I had a good time. Benoit Blanc is back in a mystery that revolves around a young priest named Judd, played by Josh O'Connor, who is sent to assist a firebrand head priest, played by Josh Brolin. However, once a seemingly impossible murder occurs, the congregation immediately looks upon the new priest with suspicion. To assist with the investigation, Benoit Blanc, played by Daniel Craig, is brought in by the town sheriff to find out who's guilty. Secrets are revealed, conspiracies are unraveled, all that fun stuff. This is probably the most interesting protagonist of the Knives Out trilogy, and a lot of that has to do with Josh O'Connor's performance. He really rides that line of being a good person with a suppressed dark edge. The other characters are also well acted. Craig is still good as Blanc, Josh Brolin is great as a fire and brimstone preacher, Glenn Close is excellent as the hardcore believer. Honestly, there isn't a bad performance. Well, except for one. I don't buy Mila Kunis as a sheriff. This is a role that needs someone that commands authority or at least can control a room, and I just don't see it. Maybe as a normal cop or paramedic, but as is, I just see someone dressed up in a Halloween costume.
I found my killer and I'm bringing him in.
Similar to the issues a lot of people had with her as the Wicked Witch of the West in The Oz the Great and Powerful. Like that film, I think this is probably more of a case of miscasting rather than poor acting on Kunis' part. Honestly, I would have swapped her and Kerry Washington, because really, she isn't given much to do. Which brings up one of two major issues I have with the movie. The side characters are not very interesting. For example, there's this woman who was a famous cello player but now can't play due to chronic body pain. Despite this very interesting backstory, I'm struggling to remember what she contributed to the film, except just being another suspect. And I know the other movie's side characters could be over-the-top cartoons, but at least I remember what they did. A few characters work like that. None are acted badly, just not given much to do. But the biggest problem has to be with the stylization. It feels like Rian Johnson was really experimenting with different lighting and editing, and sometimes it works, like when it's partly cloudy outside and the sunlight goes in and out of the church windows mirroring the conversation, but other choices can definitely be more distracting. Thankfully, it does become less distracting after the first act, but you still have to put up with odd lighting and editing choices throughout the film. Neither of the issues take away too much from the focus of the film, that being Father Judd and Blanc solving the mystery. They are extremely fun to watch, figuring things out, arguing with each other, all that good stuff. If their relationship didn't work, then the movie wouldn't work. It's basically a person based in faith working off a person based in reason. Not a unique setup, but these two actors really bring their A game to make it stand out. Both characters go through different arcs, and while neither does a 180-degree switch, there is a unique understanding by the end that was interesting to watch play out. The cinematography is also extremely well done despite those strange stylistic choices. Ironically, even though the setting is often very gray, this is probably the best looking of the series. As said before, the movie really takes advantage of the sunlight, and it adds a unique look to multiple scenes. The music is extremely fitting for the film. It has that mysterious and intriguing vibe that the rest of the series has. Probably won't be on anyone's playlist anytime soon, but it definitely works well for the film. The story does have a couple of holes in it, so depending on how forgiving you are of them, it might change your enjoyment level. I won't go into detail as to not to spoil anything. They aren't the worst, but can be a bit distracting. For a setting like Knives Out, where it is a cartoonish exaggeration of our world, I'm completely willing to overlook some minor ones, but I completely understand if others are far more bothered by them. If you didn't like the other Knives Out movies, this probably won't change your mind. But if you did enjoy the other two, or even just the first one, you'll probably have a damn good time with this one. I give it a 7 out of 10.